Salutations, happy holidays. My name is Summer and this is Sterling Reads. I have Finchurch, Finny. I have Sylvie. I have everybody's in here. You just can't see them right now. Finchurch, Mosian. Anyway, I've been wanting to do my winter TBR. Monthly TBRs have not been working for me, so I thought I would do one for the months of December, January, and February. So I have already, and I've been wanting to do this TBR for weeks, but I've been sick. So let's do this now. One of the books I actually finished, but I have been reading it for months, and it was fantastic, and that is The Mirror and the Light by Hilary Mantel. And this was, a trilogy about Cromwell. This is, Henry VIII. We're dealing with, so the trilogy starts out with him being a child. It ends in his death. Cromwell, not Henry VIII. And I love Hilary Mantel's writing. I love what she did with the story. I love how she started it, how she ended it. It was almost in the same, it was in the same place pretty much, full circle. I think what brought even more enjoyment to this book was I read the second and third book of this series, which is called The Six Tudor Queens by Alison Weir. So I have not read this one yet. It is on my winter TBR. This is Anna of Cleves. She was Henry's fourth wife. But I did read A King's Obsession, which was about Anne Boleyn, and The Haunted Queen, which was Henry VIII's third wife, Jane Seymour. And so the second book in this trilogy, Bringing Up the Bodies, was about Anne Boleyn. It ended that, it's funny because they're two different authors, but the Bringing Up the Bodies ended exactly where this one began. No, exactly where, yeah. I am sorry. My brain. Anyway, I think it was like where A King's Obsession by Alison Weir ends is exactly where this one picked up. So I don't know, it just felt magical while I was reading them together. So I absolutely loved this book. I took my time with it. I have another book of Hilary Mantel's up there that I want to get to at some point, but I will be carrying on with this. That finished the trilogy, of course, but I will be continuing on. Sorry. With this series. There's 3 more, of course, because this is about Henry VIII's wives. And I'm curious to how much they have to say about her. They had a full book. I read The Haunted Queen on my Kindle. But yeah, so apparently they have something to say about her, even though she was his wife for 2 seconds. I am also reading the first Harry Potter. And I am talking with Angie at Angie in the Great World. I will link her channel down below, and Deanna at Pato the Reader. We are just talking about it as we read it. We're reading it at our own pace. I think they're probably both done, and I am halfway through. And of course, it's a reread for all of us. I just think it's a great time of year to read Harry Potter. Also, I may continue on. I may not. It just depends on how I feel about it. Another book I want to read for Christmas is a reread of A Christmas Carol. I love this edition. I will probably be listening to it, but I am working on Christmas Eve and Christmas night, so I might end up taking this with me. Oh, I just love this edition so much. Of course, that's by Charles Dickens. I figure you guys already knew that. Something that I am reading right now that was gifted to me is this gorgeous translation of The Brothers Karamazov. So thank you so much. You know who you are. I am not very far along. I do not feel like, I mean, for me personally, this is not a book that you fly through, even though the writing is much more smoother in this translation by Michael Katz than the translation I was reading of this. But I started it over. I think I got to page 52 in the other translation, and this one I'm on page 80, maybe 92. So I will be slowly reading this and taking my time. And thank you so much. I love it. So let's see. Something else which is not even in my pile. What are you doing? I got Randall down here. And that is Wolfsbane and Mistletoe. I will show it to you when I finish it because it's not here. It's over there on my bed. It is a bind up of a bunch of different short stories that are, the first one is like Charlene Harris, and it's called Gift Wrap, I believe. It is the second time I've read that little short story, and it's super cute. It's a Sookie Stackhouse. Anyway, it has Carrie Arthur. It has a lot of different, I mean, it may have even like 20 different authors that are just telling cute little Christmas stories of werewolves and vampires and fairy and whatever. So I am halfway through that also. Let's see. I already talked about Anne of Cleves and that. Another book that I want to read, these are in like no order after I get past the Christmas ones. The Christmas ones I would like to read around Christmas time, of course. This is a reread also. I used to, like 20 years ago, read a bunch of Sharon McCrum. I don't really remember much of it. This I don't remember at all, but I mean, I kind of remember it about a son coming home maybe and the family. But this is Nora Bonesteel's Christmas Past. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Oh, another book that I really want to, I started it, and I mean, I could see how you could easily like fly through this series because of the writing, but this is the second book in the series. I read The Bastard last year, the year before, and this is the second book in the Kent Chronicles, I believe it's called, by John Jakes. And this is the very beginning of the Revolutionary War right now. I love that he has somebody on the north side and on the south side of most of his novels. You have two different male friends usually who see things differently. One of them is usually poor, one of them usually has some kind of money, which is interesting when you think about it, how that usually it follows that theme. But anyway, I just have started this and I hope to get back to it soon, but we'll see. So let's see, another book on my TBR. I have wanted to read this since I watched Reality Bites, and Ethan Hawke answers the phone and says, what does he say? Something like, welcome to the winter of our discontent or something. Anyway, this will be my 8th John Jakes that I've read. I've only loved 2. The Moon is Down and The Grapes of Wrath is an all-time favorite. All the other books that I've read of his, they were okay. But I'm really looking forward to the winter of our discontent. So hopefully I will love it like those other 2. So Jane Austen's birthday is in December 16th. And I'm hoping to pick back up Pride and Prejudice. I've read this many times. I started it and I only got to page 8 because I just wanted the feel of her writing last month or the month before. But she's fantastic. I'm a huge Jane Austen fan, so I'm wanting to read that next weekend around her birthday. Excuse me. Another book that I'm wanting to pick back up that I started a long time ago, and that is The Magic Mountain. I did pick it up, and I read some, and I set it back down. As you can see, I'm about halfway. So wanting to get to that, hopefully before the new year, but it's okay if not. Another book that I want to read during the winter because, of course, this cover, and this is The Trap by Tabitha King. Tabitha King is Stephen King's wife, and I wish he would. Most of her novels are now no longer being published. I wish he would bring them back out. You would think he would, since, but anyway, I have not read The Trap. I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm looking forward to it. Another book that I have wanted to read. Was actually on my most anticipated reads for 2023. I've had this book for many years, but I was finally wanting to get to it this year. It may go into January or February, but this is Hild by Nicola Griffith. All I remember is that this is about Hild, who it starts out where she's a young girl, and her father was a prince and he died, and I believe her uncle now is, and so her mother's trying to get her in her good graces and to his good graces, and I don't know if she's a seer or if they just think she is, but they try to throw her into that role. So anyway, I'm looking forward to finally reading that. We got a couple more things here. Another book that I started a little while ago and I am going to really enjoy. It is not, I know it looks huge, The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I have not read anything else by her, and it's really not as big as it seems because the print is a big size, and there's also pages where there's a blank page for a new chapter. So I don't know why they felt like they needed to make it look like it's so huge. Maybe it's because it's fantasy, but it's really going to be much faster of a read than you would expect. Another project I want to get back to is my reread of Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles. I am on Mimnock the Devil, so hopefully I can get back into this and continue on with the series for this next year. They're rereads from, I was a teenager and I'm 44, so it was a long time ago. So on a day where it's like snowy, hopefully it'll be a day I have off. It might be a night that I'm working. I'm able to work. I work third shift and I'm able to read some nights not. But I have read this before. This is a screenplay, Storm of the Century. By Stephen King, and I enjoyed the movie, but there's just something about the atmosphere in this screenplay that I just loved. So hoping to enjoy that when the snow is deep. A book that I feel like is Christmassy, and I don't know why, and maybe it's because it's by J.K. Rowling. I have no idea what it's about, but it's called The Ichabod, and I just feel like this time of year would be a nice time to read it. And hopefully it gives me the same feels that Harry Potter does, but I know I shouldn't go in with that expectation because that's just a way to be let down. So the last physical book I want to show you is Ireland by Liam O'Shiel. I've been wanting to read this. I started it and I took it out because I knew I wasn't going to remember everything, and I knew I was going to have to restart it whenever I had time to actually physically read it. And so I do remember it was about a brother and sister they're adults and they're fighting. They're not fighting each other, they're fighting in a war. And there's like ships and it feels Viking-ish. But it's Ireland, so anyway, I don't know exactly what it's about, but we will see. So I have something else on my Kindle. I plan to read Wolves of Winter. I'm not sure what percentage I'm done with it. I might be like 20% done with it so far. And it's just as wonderful. Oh, by Dan Jones. It's just as wonderful as Essex Dogs, which I loved. And I think that is maybe it for everything that I plan to read for my winter TBR. So I'm sure some things will come up, but maybe not. I'm wanting to stick. So this year I have been really serious about sticking to my TBR, changing up my shelves so that way it's like in my eye line it is the books I want to read instead of seeing everything else. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let me know if you have any thoughts about these books. If you have any books you're looking forward to for this winter that you want to read. And yeah, I hope you guys are all well. I hope you have happy holidays wherever you're at, whatever you celebrate. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.